Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I am really excited to be back at this forum and especially to talk about a technology that really excites me and how it is impacting the future of travel, specifically direct booking. But before we continue to dig deeper into this topic, let me introduce myself first. My name is Sandra Vasquez. I am the head of user experience at Encora. And over the last 15 years, I have been working with different software companies from many industries, helping them build intuitive and engaging solutions. Also, I come from an entrepreneurial background, which means that I love to think outside the box to solve problems. At Encora, I lead a team of UX researchers and product designers that love to explore new technology and expand the boundaries of user experience. During our time together here, we are going to cover the following agenda. We will start by looking at an overview of travel in general as an industry. We will go into more details of the current state of booking patterns from travel and hospitality. For this, we will kind of look at the past, the present, and next go into the future and how the rise of immersive experiences is supporting travel. We will explore the role of AI in transforming travel booking, and we will show the impact that immersive experience is having specifically on direct travel. Then we will continue with some emerging trends we have identified, but that are also backed by the top analysts on the industry. And we will provide some practical AI strategies that you can use to boost your booking. And obviously, we will leave some space at the end for Q&A and to learn from you as well. Before we dive into the specific topic of how AI is improving direct booking, let's take a quick overview on travel. Travel is a very evolving and growing industry. It is actually expected that by 2025, it will reach 1.9 trillion. If we think about it, it is a lot of memories, a lot of experiences, and a lot of trips that will take place on the next couple of years. But that is only one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is that travelers are also changing and evolving constantly. And there are two main reasons for this. One is that we are exposed to more technology, different technology and more advanced technology, but also there are a new generation of travelers that are becoming to try by themselves. Gen Z travelers are on their 20s now, so they have moving from traveling with their parents to plan and organize trips themselves. And these changes on the traveler's experience has new demands. They will look for more personalized experience and unique experience. And that is one of the reasons why direct booking is having a shift as well. It is expected that by 2030, direct booking will be dominating on the travel distribution. And the main reason is the shift on technology plus the shift on the traveler's perspective and expectation. So before we start, let's take a look at the current state of travel. Here, we will kind of look into the past, where are we coming from, how it has evolved, to open the space to then talk into the future. If we analyze the history of travel marketing, the first strategies that were used was brochures and static images. Maybe some of you are quite young to remember this, but I definitely do remember these brochures that you will have them on the hotels, on travel agency, and sometimes you get them into your email. Well, not your email, on your mailbox, actually. And these were physical brochures that made the work get you excited. You will see an image on a mountain in Canada, and you will start thinking about how you are going to plan. Back then, they actually did work because there was a lot of limitations on technology. But what happened? The internet arrived. However, although the internet arrived and allowed to do more things, what was mostly done was just bring that same static image now online. If you take a look at different or most of the traditional booking websites, they are still using just a static image. And they were good in the 90s because we were very new to the internet. So having a brochure in a computer was exciting. However, from the time that the internet got to be access to a lot of people to today, a lot of things has changed. Not only on the technology perspective, but also on the user perspective. We are exposed to new technology, and we are expect that from all of the companies that offer us services or that offer us a product. So this is what used to be on what are the traditional methods. Now let's talk about why they don't work, either at very old ages like the brochures to even the traditional digital booking website. These are one of the main characteristics why they don't work today. First is the lack of intimacy. A static image cannot convey how a room looks like, how an experience will be. It is a one-way communication. And as users, we are used to having different way communication. Let's remember that modern users are very used to social media, TikTok videos. So there is a lack of intimacy on the traditional methodologies. Then there is a limit personalization. A brochure or a general booking website cannot understand if you are a foodie and you are traveling because you want to test the best restaurants in the city versus if you are somebody who likes extreme activities. What you get with the traditional method are the same images for everyone and the same promotions to everyone. But we, as users, we are providing a lot of information, and we expect that information to be used in our advantage. Let's take a very simple example like TikTok. Two people can be using TikTok, but the content will be different from each one because it's highly personalized. Another limitation is the outdated information. Although this is kind of solved on the traditional booking websites versus the brochures and the old ages, this is not still fully solved because I'm pretty sure at least once on your lifetime, you have gone into a website where you get an advertising that is not valid because somebody on the IT team forgot to remove it. It was just for a wholesale. So these are things that still happen even with the advances of technology. Another is the inefficient, inspired modern travelers. Let's remember again, users are exposed to different content now, so we need to capture their attention faster. In the past, we might spend a couple of minutes, even hours with that piece of paper with the pictures of the places we wanted to visit or we inspired to visit. But right now, we are scrolling per second. So we need to capture this interactive. And lastly is the environmental impact. That apply mostly for the old ages with printed brochures contributing to waste. And one of the changes on the user expectations right now is that they are very concerned on sustainability. So these are some of the reasons why the traditional way doesn't work. Now that we have covered that, let's talk about the reason of immersive experience from two perspectives. One, why is it happening right now? What is the shift from the user perspective, and what is the shift from the technology perspective? So the biggest shift on the travelers' preferences are the three main things. The biggest one is the shift from static to dynamic. Travelers no longer want to just to see destinations. They want to experience things before they travel. They want to know what are the locals doing. They want to know what are the best restaurants, but not the commercial ones. They want to know what are the best restaurants that the local people sees. And the traditional methods don't provide that. Also, personalization matters more than ever. 72% of travelers say they only engage with personalized content, and 68% are more likely to book when they feel a personal connection to a destination. And we can see it right now on TikTok or Instagram, how everything is about making people feel the content is personalized for them. And lastly, the emotional connection that new travelers are looking for. immersive experience can help travelers visualize themselves on a destination, creating that emotional connection. It's not just about knowing the new place, but getting a connection from this place. So these are the shifts in terms of the traveler's preferences. But there is also a question, why immersive experience work with these new shifts? And there are also three main reasons. One is that they build confidence. Travel can explore a hotel room, a city, a resort through a virtual tour, and it reduces uncertainty. How many of you have reserved a hotel and realized it's not what you expected because it's very different from the pictures? So people and new users want to be certain, and immersive experience provide this. It also enhances engagement. As I mentioned, travel providers are competing with social media now, so they need to keep people engaged on their website to be able for the users to make the decision and book right there. And finally, it supports decision making. Immersive tools help travelers compare options, make informed decisions, leading to a higher satisfaction level. Now that we have seen the shift on the user's perspective or the traveler's perspective and how immersive experience solves this, let's talk about some specific examples of immersive experiences that you can incorporate. One is virtual tours. This is a game changer because instead of just showing images, you can also do actually immersive tours or virtual tours where people will be able to see the entire room. They will be able to see how it is the view from the hotel. They will have a clearer understanding. I remember back then, I won't say which year, but the first time I traveled to Las Vegas, I was really excited because we stay at the hotel on the Strip. And I was really excited when I got into my room and realized that the view for my room was to the garage. Imagine how disappointed I was to see that actually my expectation didn't meet what was actually happening. And back then it was okay because we didn't have technology. But right now, users know there is technology and they are willing to pay more to be able to have the view that they want and the view that they deserve. So virtual tours are very powerful. Another example is dynamic previews. If you have ever used Google Earth to explore a city that you don't know or a city that you are going to visit, you are using dynamic previews. And this is also a shift that has come from the changes on the user perspective. In the past, on my parents' ages and my age, usually the travel journey started with a destination. You knew which city you were going to visit, and then you start planning around. But after the pandemic and with the change on the generation that is traveling, there has been a shift. Now there are massive events that will detonate the travel inspiration or the travel itself. We can see a very clear example on last year's Eras Tour from Taylor Swift. I gotta admit, I am a Swiftie, so I'm very familiarized with that. But in that tour, there were a lot of people who traveled to different cities or even different countries just to watch their favorite artists. On that, the journey of the traveler completely changed because instead of starting with a destination, it started with a purpose. And the purpose was go and watch your favorite artist. And what happened? People will buy the ticket. Once they have the ticket, they will buy the flight to make sure they are able to get there. And then they will start looking at the accommodations. And what happened, if you're already going to be on the city for a couple of days to watch your favorite artist, then you're going to start exploring the city. So dynamics previews allow users to explore the city without being there, seeing if the neighborhood where they are staying is safe, seeing what is close, so if they can go and do any other activities while they are there for the concert. Another really exciting technology is augmented reality. Augmented reality is already being used and will be continued to be used for connect with users on specific destinations. There are two very clear examples. One is, imagine you go to a resort, perhaps one in Cancun that is they have one of the largest ones. But you are right there, and it's really difficult to know from the very beginning what is closest to you, where are the restaurants that you would like. With augmented reality, you can able to provide directions to your guests from their cell phones. Another example when this technology is being used is airports. I don't know if you have been to the Dallas airport, Denver, or LA, but for me, these three are a nightmare because they are huge. So augmented reality is already being used to provide guidance within the airport. Imagine that you are traveling with your kids and you have 30 minutes to get food and then go to your gate. Augmented reality can allow companies to guide the users to where is their restaurant, where is their restaurant, where is their gates. So it will provide a lot of benefits. Another immersive technology is virtual reality. And there's you can, through virtual reality headsets, allow people to experience something as if they were there, but from the comodity of their home. There is actually a company that created a campaign called Try Before You Book, in which they put they let people through a VR headset experience how it is to celebrate a holiday on New York. Most of us have seen on TV how it is how is the New Year's Eve celebration on Times Square. And to be honest, I get really excited. Imagine being able to see it as if you were there. That will be mind-blowing. That campaign had a result of 190% results on people booking the trip through New York after living this experience. And lastly, another immersive experience examples is live streaming. Companies are leveraging live streaming to be able to tour their properties, to provide Q&A questions, to answer questions on live from their customers. Let's remember, these new users and these new customers are used to social media, are used to modern technology. So if they don't find it on your website, they will go and look for other places to find that information. Now that we have seen some examples on how the shift on users is happening, it's time to talk about the role of AI transforming travel booking. All the examples that I provide are really exciting, but they cannot be executed without AI. AI is the power behind all of this, is what is going to allow us to make these great experiences into reality. And for this conversation, I have 3 examples of how AI is transforming travel booking specifically. One is AI-powered virtual tours and dynamic previews. As I mentioned, through AI, you can leverage the data that you have from your users to understand this is a mom that is traveling with their kids, so they need to know where is the restaurant that is closer. Or this is somebody that is traveling on business, and the most important thing for them is that they have a desk on their room and that they have good internet. So with AI-powered virtual tours, you can make the user see the property or the destinations they are trying to visit to ensure this is something that aligns with their needs. Another very transformative technology is AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants. This is like having a support team 24/7. AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistant, differently from traditional chatbots and virtual assistant, they allow to flow like a conversation. So people don't need to spend hours trying to figure it out if the properties that you are providing are what they need or if the tour includes what they have. Imagine you are a mom that is planning a trip for a family of 5. You don't have time to ensure the hotel or review the website of the hotel in detail to understand if it's safe for your kids or not. But through a chatbot or a virtual assistant, you can ask questions like if you are in a conversation, and you will get that certainty and encourage you to do the booking directly right there. And another is AI dynamic pricing and predictive analytics. With these two, these are kind of the start behind the scenes that will allow you to define the rates and price based on the demand and the capacity, providing better revenue for the travelers and better options for the travel providers and better options for the travelers as well. So these are the core solutions that are impacting travel in general. But and also at Encora, we had also been exploring and understanding these new travelers and how we can, reinvent the booking. So earlier on the year, we did a research on Gen Z travelers to be able to understand what were the specific needs and desires of the upcoming generation of travelers. I know it sounds kind of strange, or at least for me, but Gen Zs are already on their 20s, so they are already traveling by themselves. That research gives us great insight, and we are using here our design prototypes on how we are imagining the new travel experience. This specific prototype was made visualizing to be used on a Vision Pro. And the use case that we use here was somebody who is going to San Francisco because their favorite band is playing there. And now that they are already there, they want to explore the city and see what things they can do extra. On the left screen, you can see the content that will be generated through social media, because people is used to going to social media to see what is happening in the city. And then you will be able to double click and see the inside of the museum to know if that is something that will really interested you or not. We are very proud that this design prototype got nominated for the UX Design Award of 2025. So if you look online, Atlas AI UX Design Award, you'll be able to find more details on what we did here. But now that we have talked about how the AI is impacting travel, let's talk about the benefits. There are many benefits, but we are going to mention 3 of them that I believe are the most important. First is enhancing the inspirational phase with personalized recommendation. One of the advantages of the travel industry is that you have a lot of data already. You know when was our last trip, our search history, what are some of our preferences, and utilizing AI, you can leverage this data to create personalized recommendations. Personalization is something that is core for the new travelers because we are used to having personalized recommendations already in social media. So we expect this from companies. Another is to boost confidence in the travel decisions with real-time insight. By providing real-time information such as an availability, price, and reviews, you help travelers make informed decisions. On the traditional booking website, if you don't have this information, you will make the users go to another place to find it, and then the purchase will be on another provider, most likely. So this is linked to the last benefit, that is the increase of direct conversion and seamless booking experience. By utilizing AI to inspire the traveler to help them make a decision, the natural next step for them will be to make the purchase there, because they already trust you and they already know, what they're like. You are offering personalized content, so they will make the purchase there. Is the natural path for the user. Now, let's talk about the impact of immersive experience, specifically on direct booking. And these are some of the main ones that we are going to cover today, and are very aligned to the ones that I talked previously. But this is specifically to how can you utilize AI to boost your direct booking. One is reduce uncertainty. Immersive experience like virtual tours allow people to see what they are getting and make sure that what they are purchasing is what they expecting. The worst thing that could happen is that you make a purchase, even for a hotel or a product, and what you receive is not what you expected, because that gives you a negative sense and it affects your journey. It also helps to create desire. Immersive contents help travelers visualize themselves in a destination and create this emotional connection that they are seeking for. Also, it increases direct conversion with seamless booking experience. As I mentioned, if you are already inspiring them, give them content that is personalized for them, the next natural thing for them will be to make the purchase right there. And it's linked to the last point that you bypass intermediaries. People won't need to go to other places to identify the information or to find information. They will have it all there, and they will be able to make the purchase. So you are covering the entire travel journey. Now that we have covered where we are coming from, some technologies, why this technology is changing, there are some emerging trends that we have identified from all the work that we have done with different companies within the industry, but these are also trends that are backed by some of the top analysts on the industry, like Focusrite and Skift. So one of the trends that we identified is the voice activation booking. I am pretty sure you either own an Alexa on a Google Assistant, or you at least know somebody that's own it. What we are seeing and what we predict on the future is that travel providers will start utilizing these voice assistants to allow people to get inspired on the travel, to even search for locations, and even book with voice devices. We are very used to having them because a large percentage of the population already owns one. So it is a time to take leverage of these devices. Another is trend that we see is augmented reality for fine ways. You will start seeing them more on airports and resorts to be able to guide the users when they are at the destination, to be able to navigate airport cities and attractions as well. They are already being used on one of the main attractions and airports, but we will see them more. Another trend is blockchains for security. Blockchain technology ensures secure transactions and reduce fraud. So there is going to be a big trend also on utilizing blockchains in the travel industry. And lastly, the AI power on predicted personalization. You have all the data there, and it will allow companies to make very high personalized offers, not only for one thing, but for all the travel journey. So now let's do a double click and talk on the prediction specifically for direct booking. As I mentioned, high personalized experience will be number one because that is what users are expecting. And AI enables travel providers to offer fully customized itineraries, flight, accommodation, and even dining. Also, seamless end-to-end users. AI will be integrated on every aspect of the travel journey, from the inspiration to the post-trip. There is not going to be different journeys. It's going to be a seamless one. It is also going to increase the use of immersive technologies. Will we see it more in the next couple of years? Yeah, the utilization of VR and AR, they will become the standard in the industry because they are very efficient when it comes to inspiration. And also AI-driven sustainability. Earlier on my conversation, I mentioned how the new generation of travelers is very concerned in terms of sustainability. AI will help travelers make eco-friendly choices, such as carbon-neutral flights and sustainable accommodation. Travelers want to make a connection with the location, and part of this connection is ensuring they are having eco-friendly travels. So AI will support on this. I know we have covered many things at this point. Now I want to go into very specific AI strategies you can start using to boost direct booking. We will cover two things: actionable insights, but also some implementation tips that you can start using right away. For the actionable insights, let's start by leveraging AI for personalization. I know I have said personalization many times on this talk, but it's because that is one of the core things that will make companies have advantage through their competitors, because it's what users really expect. To be able to leverage AI, you need to have a very well-defined cloud structure and a data structure. And these two will be the foundations for you to have the AI layer to be able to have this hyper-personalization. Another actionable thing is the deploy AI-powered chatbots. You can be able to have 24/7 support with a really personalized chatbot that will help your customers understand and plan their trips better, answer all their questions without having them to call. I don't know if you have here or if you are familiarized with Gen Z generations, but at least I have a 22-year-old sister, and there is not a human power that will make her use their phone. She will text me, but she will never call me or call anyone. So for the new generation, AI-powered chatbots are also a great tool because they don't like to talk on their phones. Another insight is invest on immersive technologies. We have learned on these last 30 minutes how immersive technologies is very powerful in terms of inspiration. So this is something that you can start implementing to improve engagement on your booking website. And another is optimizing prices with AI. This is the best thing you can do to make sure you are providing the best price, comparing with the market and the demand at that moment. But this seem like very good things you can start implementing, but how? And here is when we have some implementation first. Tips. First, let's start small and scale fast. You don't need to implement all of these actionable insights, but you choose the ones that will help you improve your business. You understand your business better than anyone else. Is the challenge happening because people is not booking because they don't understand the website? Then you can put an AI-powered chatbot. Because maybe the challenge is the customer support part. You are spending a lot of customer support. An AI-powered chatbot will help you with that. But maybe the challenge is that you are spending a lot of money on a marketing campaign. You get people to go to your website, but then nobody is converting. Perhaps you need to do some immersive experiences to get them excited, or leverage AI personalization. So it will depend. The main goal is to start small. The second tip is build the technology capacity within your company to have this core data strategy, cloud strategy, so you have the foundation to put the AI strategy and be able to implement all of this. And this is not doable, make sure you partner with the right tech partner to support you doing that. Another tip is train your team. Train them on this technology, even if they are not technical, but train them on understanding what is the challenge you are trying to solve and how you are going to measure the AI solutions you are implementing. And lastly, look at the entire travel journey and concentrate on what you want to solve for your specific company. This is very aligned to the first tip, that is start small and then scale it. Don't try to solve every challenge, but pay special attention to the ones that are hurting your business the most. Well, this is the end of my talk. So before we leave, let's just summarize some final takeaways. And they are the following. Travelers want personalized, immersive experience, and AI is the key to delivering them. Emerging technologies like AR, VR, and AI-powered chatbot are transforming how travelers discover and book trips. Direct booking at the future. There is no question about it. And business that invests in AI and immersive tools will have a competitive advantage. It is important also that you build the 10 competencies within your company, but we understand that might be difficult. So make sure you partner with the right tech partner to be able to execute this. And lastly, the future of travel booking is here and is powered by AI. The companies that embrace it earlier are the ones that will have a competitive advantage from the competitors in the future. And that's it on my end. Thank you very much for joining me today. Let's open the room for some Q&A. Okay, the first question, let me read it. How do we measure the success of AI-driven personalization before booking conversion? This is a very good question because conversion is the ultimate goal, but it's not the only one. You can measure how long people are staying on the website, how it is the AI personalized alternative that you are providing versus the traditional one. Some recommendations and some things that we do with our clients a lot is A/B testing, in which we will create one landing page that will have high AI-driven personalization versus the one that doesn't, and you can make that comparison. So you understand your business more than anybody else, and you know where things are not working. So the idea of implement AI-driven solutions is that solve this problem. So you can start measuring from there. Another question, aren't these AI tools too expensive for a smaller, mid-sized traveler business? That is kind of the myth, and it was in the past, but we need to think that technology has evolved and is become more accessible as we speak. So what we have seen and what also is backed up by some of the top analysts in the industry is that the cost has been reduced and small and mid-sized companies can get the return of investment faster than enterprises just because of their lean operation. So we are actually an advantage on that. That lean operation that a mid-sized travel business has is what allows to get a return on investment faster. Okay, how do immersive experience actually improve the direct booking versus the OTA? Well, that is a really, really good question, and it has to do a lot with the personalization, because people, you already have the user, the customer or the traveler on your website, and you are able to provide a virtual tour of your property. You are able to provide a streaming live of your property. You are able to engage them. That is something that the OTA don't have because they don't have that very immersive content on your properties. So what we have seen is that the more immersive experiences you provide, personalized immersive experiences, the more competitive you are because people get that emotional connection with your properties or with the services that you are provided or with the tours that you are providing. So OTAs won't be able to go into that details on the content that you are creating because you are the owner of that content. Perfect. I don't see any more questions. So I just want to thank everyone for being here today. And please remember to subscribe to the EncoraTalks channels when you will see more content like this one. And hopefully we can connect online as well. Thank you.